What are the deal breakers for you in a relationship, and are you able to look past them? Joining us now is the author of Ultimate Betrayal with advice on how to make sure our bottom line needs are met in a relationship. Welcome back, Danine Manette.
Hi, Danine. Nice to see you. Thank you.
You talk about deal breakers. I know that you write about something called minimum standard of care. Is that the same as a deal breaker? Or just what is that? What does that mean?
A minimum standard of care is a legal term that comes in play in tort law dealing with negligence, and it basically establishes the level of care someone is expected to perform or to show in a particular instance. I have related that to relationships in establishing a list, some guidelines, some things that are important for you in a relationship, when you're trying to pick a potential life partner, when you're trying to pick a mate, in dealing with someone, what are your minimum standards of care and the things that you absolutely won't compromise on when you're in search of that mate.
So what are some examples of things that commonly would be a person's minimum standard of care?
A lot of things have to do with character issues. Is this person a flake? Do they take care of the children that they have from another relationship? Do they tend to lie about small things? Some things are religious things. I don't want to date someone that perhaps is not the same faith as me, or I don't want to date someone who appears to be dishonest or a felon, or whatever your minimum standard of care are. The things that are important to you specifically that may be different for other people, will be different for other people, but are things that you absolutely won't compromise on.
Okay, so if they don't meet those needs, then those are the deal breakers, like it's over?
Well, usually I believe that a minimum standard of care should be established prior to getting into a relationship. These are things that you come up with when you have that alone time, when you're between relationships, and you're trying to establish what it is that you're finding very important and what is necessary and essential for you to have in the relationship before you get into it, not once you're in it. Once you're in it and emotions are going and the relationship is rolling along, it's difficult to now backtrack and say, absolutely, I don't really like this. So it's something to do prior to getting into a relationship.
But don't we all see many relationships in which people's bottom line needs are not being met? They find themselves in an unhappy relationship.
Yes.
So what do you do then? Do you compromise, or do you confront your partner and say, my needs aren't being met?
Well, it depends on what they are. If these are deal breaker things, because in essence deal breakers are things that take the relationship off the table, things that I absolutely won't tolerate. This person put their hands on me, in a violent manner, or this person disrespects me, or behaves in such a way that I cannot get past that. You should not compromise these things. Other things are things that can be changed or worked with. Like, for instance, perhaps you decide that you want someone who's the same faith as you, and you end up dating someone that's of no faith. Are they open to attending services with you, or are they open to particular things that are important to you, or are we dealing with absolute character issues that should never be compromised? Once we compromise is when we start lowering our standards and getting into bad relationships.
Okay, let's say we have made some compromises and we've both agreed to them, so it's okay, but you're still feeling a little unhappy. What should you do?
Basically, you need to reassess with your partner to make sure that you are still on the same page. If they have all of a sudden changed their mind about things that you two had established to start with, then you need to revisit that. Then this may not be the relationship for you, but you should try and work through it. Okay, well, Danine, you're going to stay here because we've got another relationship topic coming up, and that is sex. And we're going to have some girl chat right after the break.